All right, so I woke up this morning. I got my hair all screwed up. I woke up, got out of bed, turned off my alarm, tried to grab my AirPods, and they exploded on the floor. Those fell, lost one. The other one was just gone. I mean, it was dumb. I spent like 20 minutes looking for it. Finally get it, go upstairs, do my thing, mess up cooking my eggs, which was just wonderful. And I don't know, that puts you in a bad mood. And then I realized, and this is what's making me make this video, that mindset is a thing. And I may be having a rough day, but it's how I mentally perceive it that actually controls how I feel. Now that's based in, like, everyone knows stoicism, everyone knows that. But, like, actually do that in your life. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't do that, and I don't actually know how I've gotten through any of my life without having this mindset. But I mean, to get through life, you have to have a positive mindset. You have to look at the green side of the grass. You have to get through hard times by accepting what you can and cannot control, right? So, for example, I could have woken up today, all that could have happened, I could have set the tone for today that, okay, well, now today's gonna be shit. And I said no to that, and now I'm in a decent mood. Now, yeah, my hair's screwed up. Yeah, I'm tired a little bit. Yeah, everything's a little annoying. Yeah, I got work. I don't want to go to work. But you have to set the tone for your day right now. You have to set it in the moment that you're in. If you're having a slow, sluggish day, what can you do? What can you change in your mind, and what can you physically do to actually change how your day is going to go? If I'm feeling sluggish, I go for a walk. Wakes me up. A big thing that I see people always say, I can't. I think I can't, and I know that I'm not the first person to say this, but I think I can't is one of the most dangerous things a human being could say. I think I can't is awful, because when you say I can't, you are saying I will not achieve. And to say I will not achieve what I want to achieve, I mean, you're literally saying you can't do it. You're physically incapable. You're mentally incapable. Your mind is completely in your control. So the entire I can't, like psychologically and mentally and stuff, you can. Now, there's obviously like, I can't fly. No, I can't fly. But like physically speaking, like when I hear people say I can't, like I won't, I'm incapable of, these are just excuses. These are walls in between doing what you need to do to get to where you want to be. And all that is really negatable by mindset. I have done tests on myself where I have taken, so like I've had a test one time for my American history class, which is a normal one we take here in America, where it was over like law and court, and it went over like the Supreme Court justice, like their names, like just dumb stuff. And I was allowed to retake the test, and I knew that if I studied, I would do okay. And I told myself, and I wrote down that I would do this, and I did do this, it was crazy. I told myself, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. And every day I looked in the mirror, I said, I'm going to get maybe a C on this test. And I shit you not, I took that test. It was I'll never forget this. It was a 50-point test. I took it and I got a 42, which is pretty good. That was a B. And I kept telling myself I'm going to get a C. So I did pretty good on it. But then I said, okay, I'm not going to study anymore. I'm not going to look at the answer. I literally looked at the Google form, looked at the number 42 or 43, maybe it was a B, and I was done. I put it away. And I said, when tomorrow rolls around, I'm going to retake the test, and I'm not going to study or anything. And worst case scenario, he just gives me the B if I get it lower. And I told myself for that day, and then the next day when I was supposed to take it, I didn't take it. And I told myself for that day that I'm going to get an A. I'm going to get an A. I'm going to get an A. And I shit you not, I got a low A the next time I took it with no studying. Why? I had the confidence. Now, there's no trackable different intelligence there, but I can tell you I tried harder. I remember I tried harder the second time because I believed more. The power of belief, as much of, like, it sounds like I'm being a cornball right now, but if you believe in yourself, if you believe in what you're doing, you're going to be better at it, and you're going to achieve it more. You know what I mean? Like, it's, and there's real science. I mean, the placebo effect's very real. It's a very real, trackable thing. We don't know why it works, as far as I know. But I mean, like, that stuff's real, man. And, at the end of the day, why even have a negative mindset? You can have a negative mindset when it benefits you, but even then, that's positive in itself, Like, there are things that you really can't control, and that's unfortunate. But, why would you focus on that then? Focus on the things that you can control or the things that you do need to focus on. I would say my advice to anyone is to always look at something in a positive light. Even if it is very negative, try and look at it in a positive light. Always be aware that your brain is going to do things to trick you that you're not going to be aware of. Your brain holds you back more than you know. So that's a big thing too. Like, if you think that you're dumb and you tell yourself you're dumb, you're going to score lower on an IQ test. That's a real study that really happened. You got to look that up. But like, that really did happen. They were like, people were like, I'm dumb, and they scored lower on an IQ test. They thought that they would score low, they scored low, and then they do to the same people. And just like me on my history test, you will score higher because you will try more, because you told yourself the positive thing. Telling yourself the positive thing gets you through things positively. You should always, guys, right in my ass, you should always tell yourself the positive thing. That is the most important thing. If you can put your positivity and your mental peace at the top, and you can tell yourself, realistically, like, tell yourself things that you can actually achieve. Because I can tell you right now, I could sit here and doom and gloom and say, well, this YouTube video is going to get 2 views. This YouTube video isn't going to do good. But if I do that, what benefit is that going to give me? What benefit does it give you to wake up in the morning and say, I can't go to the gym. I'm too sick. I don't want to. I don't want to go to school today. I don't do good in school. What is the benefit? I spent years of my life telling myself, I can't, I won't. But I'm going to tell you right now, that exact mindset is the same mindset every loser in history has ever had. If you wake up and you don't have the mindset of a loser and you have the mindset of a winner, I can, I will try, I will not stop. If you have those words, those sayings, and you believe them, taking a deep breath and saying, I don't feel like a winner, but I am a winner. If you have that mindset, you will succeed to some extent in life. And there is study after study that you can find on YouTube and on Google of like all these scientific branches talking about, hey, the placebo effect's real. Hey, this is real. Hey, this is something that you should really be paying attention to. I would say the biggest piece of advice I could give you right now that you should take after watching this short little video, look at yourself in the mirror and just say, I'm a winner and I can do this. It should be something you should say, I can do blank. Now, for most people, if it's difficult for you to get out of bed in the morning, I can get out of the bed in the morning tomorrow. I can get out of bed in the morning tomorrow. That may sound impossible to you now, but if you tell yourself that every day, I'm not saying it's a quick fix because there's a lot of discipline, there's a lot of mindset that goes in that. But what I will say is you should really sit down and say that and really think that, because what is the positive? What is going to happen to you if this person is going to run into me? What is going to happen to you if you tell yourself the negative thing every day? You're going to have a negative mindset. You're going to be unhappy. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be depressed. You're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. And anything that I have ever succeeded in life has always been a mindset thing. I can't, I won't are words that will never come out of my brain unless it is an accident. I will not. You will not. Really? Does that sound like something a winner will say? Is that, do you think that like all these great people in history, presidents, camera died. Anyways, saying I can't, I won't, none of these successful people that you want to be like, none of the people that you want to be like and you're trying to be like have said to themselves, I can't, I won't, I will not. They don't say that because that's not how they think. Watch successful people talk to themselves. Read their books. Read these people's books. It's like reading their minds. They don't say these things to themselves, okay? Talk to yourself like a millionaire and you'll be a millionaire. Talk to yourself like you're ripped, you'll be ripped. Talk to yourself like you're happy, you'll be happy. Talk to yourself like you're smart, you'll be smart. Promise you, I've achieved more talking to myself positively than I ever will negatively, okay? Have a good day. Love you guys. Like and subscribe and be positive.